How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm just going to go back on Mudrunner for a little bit and go and do one of these challenges. I remember this one was pretty cool. You basically got to go and take a little convoy of vehicles down the beach to a lighthouse, so it's nothing particularly crazy, it's just an excuse to go off-roading along the beach. And then as kind of a bonus little thing, there's a truck that's drowned in the water near the edge, and yeah, you've got to like figure out a way to get it out of there. And I suppose, yeah, it's just one of the little bonus objectives on the mission. So the two main trucks you're going to get, this I believe is the C255, which is a pretty solid all-around truck in Mudrunner. Quite a few people have already said in the comments they remember this one. I remember using this one quite a lot. It looks pretty cool. It's also got like a pretty decent amount of power and everything to it, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it also has quite a decent range of like different options and setups, different log carts and all sorts. So yeah, it's pretty cool. As for the truck behind me, it's a more standard one. I kind of remember it because it was orange, and there's not many orange ones in this game. Yeah, obviously that's got a big giant semi-fuel trailer thing on it, so yeah, you got to escort them kind of both down here. You can see the dotted line along the beach, and yeah, I just thought I'd come back on this and kind of another little video to demonstrate the mechanics of this game, kind of just see what's feeling better, what's not. I didn't want to do another big video again tonight because I've had another banging headache all night, and yeah, it tends to happen to me in like little clusters. So I remember reading a little while ago, I don't know if this is true, but I thought I'd mention it since it's that time of year and it might affect other people. I remember somebody saying a while ago that every time, like when the clocks change, they said more in winter, they get like loads of headaches all winter, and somebody eventually said to them, yeah, it's because you've like changed the clocks, it's messing your sort of your natural pattern up, and you're getting headaches on that. And he kind of didn't believe it at first, but they said try putting all your clocks back to what you're used to, and he did, and he said he's never had the headache since, like every winter. Yeah, he just leaves the clocks as what they are, and apparently it solved the problem for him. So I'm not 100% it is that, because I still get them in summer, but who knows, maybe that's from putting the clocks forward. To be honest, I think it's more sleep related. I usually suffer from insomnia a bit, so when I have a bad night's sleep I usually end up getting a headache and all sorts. It stems from there, not too good. That's part of the reason why, not the only reason, definitely not, but part of the reason why I'm up at night instead is because when I start getting headaches and migraines, like it's bright lights and stuff tend to get me pretty bad, whereas yeah, trying to find a nice pitch black room in the middle of the day is not as easy. At night, it's yeah, just turn the lights off and I'm good. Start feeling better. Anyway, back to this game. Yeah, you can see his truck's doing pretty well. It's motoring along pretty nicely, considering I've got a trailer, a Scout in my trailer, and yeah, a whole nother truck behind me. This game though does have the where you can actually switch between pull mode and drive mode, so I believe it's in drive mode now, so the truck behind me is driving along as normal. But yeah, it's just nice that you can actually manually switch it. This kind of terrain I'm cutting through, it's definitely pretty boggy. Like, this game is certainly, well, there's a map called The Bog, which is like probably worse than this, and yeah, it's just nothing but this pretty much. But it's a pretty good example of like what the terrain is like in this game, how squidgy it is. You can see that they used to do wear like more mud clumped to your tyres, and for back in the day, like, I mean, it looks a little bit unrealistic now. I can see why they kind of missed it out on SnowRunner, but yeah, I mean, it's still pretty cool. I appreciate the effort. Going along here, if you look in the beach, in the sea, you can see a truck. Oh, there it is, just appeared. And yeah, when you actually drive in, one, there's a pretty strong current. I'll be honest, I could have sworn the current was even stronger back in the day. I'm probably wrong on that, but it's just gut feeling. I'm sure it posed more of a problem to me back then. Yeah, so long story short, what you don't want to do is just drive in forwards, because you won't be able to reach the well, that circle that appeared around the truck in the water. You've got to drive within that circle to unlock the vehicle, so I can't just winch it from the beach, even though it'd probably reach from here. And yeah, like I say, if I drive in forwards, I'm just going to drown the engine and all the rest of it, and then by the time you're trying to reverse out, the current starts getting you and all sorts. But if you do it this way in reversing, you can do this same thing with the fuel, like the orange truck I got with me, with the semi-fuel trailer, but I believe, yeah, because I've got the Scout in the back of this trailer, once I've reversed it close enough, I can switch to the Scout. That now unlocks the truck for me, switch back to my truck, and then, yeah, stick a winch on this and like I said, the winch is pretty solid on this game. And then drive this beast back out. And this is where, again, like, yeah, this game in general certainly incorporated, like, water into the whole theme a lot more than SnowRunner has. But, yeah, just, like, it feels pretty nice driving back out of there. Like, the truck's feels like it's planted down pretty well, feels more weighty. And, yeah, we get out of there. Yeah, this one has got diff locks and all-wheel drive and everything. Again, you can see with the gearbox-like controls, that thing I'm in at the minute is the equivalent on SnowRunner as like high-low, but on this it is just more presented as like one gear with just a different throttle ranges, which I think is pretty cool. And again, I actually believe that's what they've ended up with in SnowRunner, but it more makes you think that you've actually got 3 different low gears. I've just cut to a different playthrough because for whatever reason, once I rescued that truck out of the water, I fixed it up and everything. I drove it along the beach first to the lighthouse, and then when I switched back to these trucks, it just said mission complete. I have no idea why, because the mission is to get these 2 trucks to the lighthouse. This truck that I'm getting out of the water, I'm pretty certain is just a bonus truck. Like, you don't need to do this. You can just drive straight past it and go to the lighthouse. So yeah, I don't know why the hell it completed for me. But I just thought, well, I attempted it a second time. I quite like watching this thing claw its way out there and tow this truck out there. And yeah, it's just a good looking truck, this. A lot of the trucks in this game I think look pretty cool, pretty old school, pretty sort of utilitarian, typical Russian kind of style to it. And again, yeah, I'd like to see more of them back in SnowRunner one way or another. So again, this is just a free vehicle, I don't really need to do much with it, but I think it's just for the just to say you've done it. So again, they're pretty crap with the names though on this game. Like, at least in SnowRunner you got stuff like the Taiga, the Voron, etc. In this, they're all, yeah, like B131, C235, C255, C535. I don't, you know, just all sorts. It's like you just never remember. It's easier to try and remember like C255, the orange one, the blue one, the brown one, the green one, etc. Because they, yeah. I have to say, Russia, not too inventive as far as names go. They just like to name everything like a code, like they're still in the Cold War. Trying to keep everything a secret, you have to send it through an Enigma machine just to work out what the fuck it is. So yeah, this time replaying, like, doing this again, I'm leaving that bonus vehicle I just got out of the water. I'll take that towards the lighthouse at the end. And I mean, yeah, this is the main challenges of this mission. Obviously, again, that truck is a bonus thing, but cutting across these like river sections, you can see the current catches you pretty well, but that's where I think overall they've got a nicer balance. Where the truck's heavier in the first place, you can see it kind of tends to sweep your trailer more than you, and within reason you've kind of got a certain amount of time to get out of there before you're going to start tipping. You can see it's already taken the orange truck away on the current with me. I kind of got lucky in the sense that because the orange truck's kind of jackknifed, the current's not strong enough. Like, it'd have to flip the whole truck up to now roll the fuel trailer, so it's kind of sat itself in position. I'm not 100% what I got stuck on, but I believe it's a tree branch, because it kind of brought back some painful memories that, yeah, the tree branches, all just, you know, trees lying on the floor in this game, are seriously bad for, like, you sort of hook onto it and then, yeah, it's a pain in the arse. But the bright side is the winch is pretty lengthy. That's what she said, of course. And yeah, you can fling it out, grab onto some elves and just pull yourself over the branches. That's like the easy way. They're a bit of a pain in the arse to try and climb over them. And yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's not the craziest mission in the world. It's just, again, another excuse. It's pretty cool that it's like a big long road train. I like doing this sort of stuff. I did it a hell of a lot in Mudrunner, to be honest. I went really, like, meticulous through the different missions on this game. So I remember, for example, the crossing. It's a shame. If I had more memory on the PS4, I would have saved a lot of the footage from when I originally did it. But yeah, with the crossing, I kind of went round and got every single vehicle, got them all over the other side of the river, got every single one I could loaded with logs, even though I had way more logs than I ever needed, and then drove them all back in, like, not one road train, because I could only winch like one vehicle at a time, but yeah, I just did it in little sections and kept like a big convoy of 10 vehicles, and the length of the overall road train, if you added all of them up, was yeah, pretty cool. It was pretty fun. And yeah, this is the lighthouse to get to. It's pretty simple for some reason though. Well, it's not a bad thing, but it didn't actually just say you've completed it this time, so I was able to jump in this and give it a little blast. Again, I can't quite remember the name of this one. It'll be another C something or another, I would have thought. Still looks pretty cool again though. And I believe in this game there's 2 trucks that look a bit like this, kind of a light pasty brown. Or, yeah, almost cream coloured, whatever. I think one of them's 1 star. I believe this one is a 3-star truck though. So it's pretty solid overall. Again, that truck that I was towing the road train with a minute ago, the C255, that definitely came in handy a lot. Like, that was a big go-to really for a lot of things. I believe there was another one though, C375 maybe, kind of rings a bell. I believe that was pretty solid as well. But even some of the lower down trucks, there's one called the B131, and I believe that was cost you 2 stars. Again, just quickly for anyone that doesn't know, on this game, each time you go on a map, you have a certain amount of stars you can spend, and each vehicle costs stars, and obviously the better the vehicle, the more stars it costs. And yeah, that's essentially it. Like, so generally speaking, if you got a 2-star truck, you'd assume a 4-star truck is better. But yeah, I do like the B131 stands out as, for the cheapness of it in terms of stars. Anyway, it was a pretty solid little truck. Anyway, yeah, that's another little rallying session along the beach, and that's it. Delivery mission done. And that's about it. I just thought I'd show you another couple of little bits and bobs. This is just a quick silly one. This is my little drifting section on downhill, which only had one quick go with the this thing. Well, I had to go with a few other things, but I can't remember which truck I used to use that nailed it down here really nicely. Some of the trucks feel pretty slow. The Scouts usually feel pretty cool. And yeah, I spent a hell of a lot of time doing this back in the day when obviously didn't have a Mudrunner. That's how easy it can all be over. Before I ramped up and hit the tree, I was already completely deleted myself. This game takes no prisoners. Like, Mudrunner is definitely a troll with the damage, and I do think they need to tone it down, but on this game it was insane. And then last little one, I just wanted to show you like the log carts that I quite enjoyed them trade. I didn't know for bloody ages I could do that on this game. Well, not ages, but I was, yeah, a good portion through the game before I realised, like, oh, pack cart, and it'll fold up. And yeah, that's what I believe that little notch in the top of like the P16 kind of cabin protector metal frame bit behind the cab. Yeah, in real life that has like a big logging trailer that folds up like this and kind of goes in the slot. That's something what she said as well. But yeah, I just think these are pretty cool, and I appreciate there's not... Well, I know it's a logging trailer, but I suppose they couldn't really realistically incorporate it into Mudrunner yet, because like I'm certain in Phase 3 they're adding logging, so fingers crossed we'll get all variations and more, hopefully, of this kind of thing. I believe the P16 is getting its own custom login trailer, possibly. I'm sure that's what someone said when Phase 3 comes out, which again makes sense because it is a login truck, and I've seen videos on YouTube of like, if I remember, I'll pin it in the comments, a video of the P16 with the actual login trailer folded up on it and everything. And yeah, what I wanted to mention as well though with this thing, just while I was at it, it's got no diff locks. This thing is not even all-wheel drive, so it's only the rear wheels. And when I went off-road and that, yeah, it didn't just immediately give up and wheel spin, because there is still quite a lot of weight to this truck. I admit it probably helps having the trailer folded up on the back. That's like more concentrated weight, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah, you can see now it's like it still puts its effort in, kind of thing. You're not just immediately tapping out. That they added, I believe, with the American Wilds DLC. It's actually not very good. It costs 4 stars. It's just got no guts to it. Do you know what? It's like the Derry 4520 of Mudrunner. It all looks good, it goes fine, it steers slow as anything though. That's one thing, it is the opposite to the Derry. But it just has absolutely, like, no guts to it. The thing I found before though, the K700, the yellow looking tractor, that's a very good tractor slash just vehicle in the game in general. I use that a hell of a lot. Quite a lot for messing around, because it's got giant pincers on the front, so you can pick scout vehicles up, load them into trailers, or, you know, like, stick them places they're not supposed to go. Yeah, but it's just a solid truck altogether. Like, extremely good off-roading. It was just, yeah, nice. I do miss that truck. I'd like to see that back in Snowrunner as well. But yeah, that's about it. It was just a little demo of one of the trucks. Again, not even all-wheel drive. Still motoring along pretty nicely in the off-road terrain. When I get to here, though, finally, that is enough for it. This is where all-wheel drive would be needed. But yeah, that's about it for today. You can see I'll just go and try the low range, try all the different throttle levels. But yeah, I was having none of it. Anyway, that's about it for today, though. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.